I survived the world's heaviest people's diet for 7 days. We watched one of his videos where he ate, like, the ex-world's he's dead now, but the ex-world's heaviest man's diet for a day, but now he's doing 7 world's heaviest people's diets. So he's eating 7 different people's diets 7 days in a row. He's gonna die.
For the next 7 days, I'm attempting to finish the diets of the world's heaviest people.
Dude, I always say they pick the least flattering angles, bro. They literally go, how do we make this woman look as fat as possible? In TLC. How do we make this person look, where do they have the most rolls? Let's just go, let's get an up angle shot of their fucking neck and the roll on their thigh right there. Oh my God.
Starting with Barry Austin, who ate a stag
920 pounds. I feel like he's not 920 in this photo though, right? I feel like looking at this, he probably looks like he's like 550.
Bring 26,000 calories per day. I'm hungry now, but by the end of this week,
I don't even know if I could eat what he has in his hands in a day.
Feeling I won't be.
Oh my God. Bro, that is a whole turkey. Does he have to eat that is a whole turkey and 2 things of ham. Bro, nobody eats this. You think that, I feel like people that are really fat, like morbidly obese, yeah, they have big stomachs, but a lot of it's just calorically dense foods. There's no way they're just eating an entire turkey, 3 chickens, and 2 hams in a sitting.
Rule number 1, I have to finish each person's diet before I can move on to the next one. Rule number 2, I can't control whose diet I'm eating next. If you're wondering who is controlling it, you'll find out shortly. Rule number 3.
Oh my God, if it's his audience, that'd be terrible. Or like a fucking wind spiel.
3.
Wind spiel. Spin of the wheel.
Gain a minimum of 33 pounds this week. Yep.
That's a requirement. He has to gain 33 pounds in a week. Dude, that's actually disgusting levels of bulking. People will spend months trying to gain 10 pounds in muscle. 33 pounds, I mean, mainly that's fat, but...
I'm going all in, and my stomach is about to hate me.
Kicking off with the first part of Barry's breakfast, I'm eating 10 eggs and a full...
4 liters of Coke for breakfast. Oh... Yo, I just gotta say, if you're drinking soda for breakfast, that's immediately a red flag, okay? Regardless of whether or not you're obese, if you are waking up and you're cracking open like a fucking Dr. Pepper, that's a problem.
Loaf of toast. Obviously, it was tasting great, but what I didn't know was that this delicious carbonated...
Am I crazy or does that bacon look dead raw? That shit does not look cooked.
Tasting great, but what...
Bro, that shit looks like it was put in the microwave for like 10 seconds.
What I didn't know was that this delicious carbonated drink was going to be the bane of my existence. Because Barry drank 12 liters of Coke per day. If the food itself wasn't a tough enough challenge already...
33 cans of Coke in a day. I think that alone is a challenge. You know? Don't you think that would be I feel like I would fall asleep. That's enough sugar to make me pass out.
This was going to be the icing on the cake. Or should I say the syrup on the hash brown. After finishing...
That's already what people eat in a day. He hasn't even finished breakfast. He's already at what most people would consume less than this in a day.
Half the platter, I'd already made it to my second 2-liter. But this was only the beginning.
It's like I'm painting a picture of...
God, he can't pivot to diet. Do you think that would make it any better? I feel like the carbonation would be worse.
Call me Pablo Picasso, baby.
After finishing off the last of the bacon and the sausage, I took down the rest of the hash browns and the bread. Oh, and the last of the Coke. Well, for this meal at least.
That was Barry Austin's breakfast, and it's only gonna get crazier.
Since Barry was Britain's heaviest man, I had to run over to the local pub to get the next meal for the challenge.
Love fish and chips.
Do you think he actually did this 7 days back to back? I don't understand how this would be possible. Because most competitive eaters allot calorie count for a given week instead of day. They don't do day-to-day calorie counts. They go, I can consume this many calories in a week. Maybe Eric does it in a month. But even then, like, after he finishes this, there's no way he could wake up the next day and consume another, like, you know, 700-800 pound man's diet in a day. Like, do you think he's throwing up?
I started off with the fries, or
I would have to.
chips as they're called in the UK, along with my
He completes the Iron Man. Bro, that doesn't mean that he could eat fucking 40,000 calories in 2 days.
Next 2 liter of Coke. So far, the meal was off to a pretty good start. But I decided it was time to bring a little bit more flavor to the party.
I don't know what kind of sauce is.
Like, I would be getting the worst meat sweats of my life. Have you ever gotten that? Not meat sweats or just food sweats in general, where it's like your stomach, you're really bloated, you start sweating, and you kind of feel like you're oozing is the best way that I could describe it. You feel like, oh, like you're just in a hot car, just
But I'm gonna find out. It's ranch. It's good ranch.
So far, things were going great. Well, for now at least.
All right, fish and chips number 1 is down. I'll pick that up later.
I got back to work and started on the next order of fish and chips.
I dedicate this meal to all my British subscribers.
In only
how is he drinking this much Coke? Like, how is he consuming this much Coca-Cola? 33 liters or 33 cans, 12 liters.
a few minutes later, meal 2 was complete.
Fish and chips number 2 is complete. I am kind of coked out right now. I feel like that's probably not the most family-friendly thing to say on this channel, but you know what I mean. I have a second 2 liter in here that I was supposed to finish, so I'm gonna have to figure out what to do with that.
For the next few minutes, I chugged this Coke like I was trying to set a record for fastest time to destroy a pancreas.
Number 4.
And
Bro, like, what if he got a kidney stone mid-video? Like, that's all I'm thinking about right now is, like, something in his organs just fail. Like, right, he's just like, ugh. He's like, I gotta go piss real quick. Oh, that hurts.
that's when things turned in a different direction.
Oh man. I have had way too much caffeine and sugar today.
After recovering from my
Oh my God, I forgot Coke has caffeine. It's so little though, right? 34 milligrams. 34 times 33. He needs to consume 1,100 milligrams of caffeine in a day. And then, you know, probably like 2,000 grams of sugar more.
sugar crash, it was time for the final part of Barry's diet. For this, I headed over to this fire Indian spot for the next meal.
To put it in perspective, like a Red Bull's 140 milligrams of caffeine. So he'd be having like 8 Red Bulls. Or 9 Red Bulls.
Well, everyone, it's almost 7 o'clock, so you know what that means. Dinner time.
As I got to 2 liter number 5 for the day, there was only one thought on my mind.
I hate you so much right now.
Ooh, can we get a little ASMR action?
Even though I was ridiculously full at this point, this curry was so delicious that my fullness almost didn't even matter.
Yeah, I gotta say, this is some tasty curry.
But regardless of how
Oh my
good
God, the fucking shit, dude. The fucking poo. He's gonna have a Randy Marsh shit from South Park, bro. You're eating 9 orders of curry, and it's just stacking on top of everything else. Like, the bathroom... Bro, all he's probably doing is pooping and eating. What is the name of this fucking guy that ate like this? Kenneth Brumley? Oh, no, that's a different dude. Bro, what do you think this guy's fucking shits were like? If he couldn't walk either? Imagine being this heavy and, like, pooping in a bedpan. Bro, it'd fill it.
eventually. Which I was reminded of only a few bites later. With only 4 plates left, I decided it was time to strategize. So I started making myself a little curry burrito. There's probably a formal name for this, but all I knew was that this tasted delicious. As I finished this plate, I felt like I was more curry than human. But with the finish line in sight, the last thing I could do was stop now.
How far do you think you could get into this in a day, chat? If you're not doing all 7 days, you're just doing 1.
I'm so over curry right now. I gotta say, this is some tasty curry.
As I stuffed the last curry burrito
1 plate? I think I could do the breakfast. I think I could do the breakfast and the lunch by the end of the day. But that'd be it.
in my mouth, I'd finally
Maybe 1 plate of curry.
made it to the end. Well, almost.
The worst part about today was definitely the Coke.
Little did I know the Coke was going to be nothing compared to what I was.
Yo, I would love to see Eric the Maybe he's done this, so don't quote me. You know this? I've been saying I wanted to do this. The streamer challenge where you take 4 guys and you just go drive-through to drive-through and you go, I'll have what the person in front of me ordered, and you just see how many you can get to. If you put like Eric the Electric, Beard Meets Food, Furious Pete, and like another competitive eater, I feel like they'd get like 60 restaurants. I think they would have to like hit the dumpster up with the amount of trash they'd have.
But right now, the last thing I want to do is even think about it. Why couldn't this have been Diet Coke? After finishing diet number 1, it was time for my first weigh-in.
He's starting to get those red ankles.
For my first weigh-in.
This is a problem. Blood's rushing to his feet.
Jeez, that was a lot of calories today. Hopefully whatever's up next won't be anything too crazy.
Obviously, Barry's diet left me feeling pretty full, but the next one on the list was gonna wound me. Literally.
I mean, bro, that person was literally naked, but it, like, there was nothing showing.
This is gonna be impossible.
And it all started with this binder. Let me explain. A few weeks ago, I got this text from my old friend Ricky. Ricky and I were best friends in high school, but it had been a few years since we last spoke. Ricky ended up coming over a few days later, and things seemed pretty normal, until he hit me with this.
Eric, you know you didn't actually eat the world's heaviest man's diet, right?
A few years ago, I ate what I thought was the world's heaviest man's
That was the video that we watched.
daily diet. But what Ricky was about to put in front of me
Well, Eric, I got a real challenge for you then, and it's all in here.
was gonna prove that he was right. Ricky's always been the kind of friend that's kept me on my toes with everything I do. Like, if I said I climbed Mount Everest, he'd tell me I missed a step. So of course, he tells me he found 5 more people with even crazier diets than the world's heaviest man.
You gotta finish all of these in a week, and that's the real challenge. Dude, come on, man. Are you for real right now? Come on, bro. I thought you were the world's hungriest man.
As soon as he said that, I instantly realized he was right.
Fine, I will do it. And I know I'm gonna do it too, because if I can't, I'll take world's hungriest man out of my IG bio.
But I was about to find out that
I don't know if those stakes are that high. That's just a bio removal. Bro, who the fuck redeemed edible? I'm actually too lazy to go grab the edible, so I'm going to ask them if this is okay. Can I drink this? I'm not going to chug it, but I'll sip on it. Why is it not focusing? It's a THC drink. Bro, okay, you can't pull the fucking mods. You can't do which edible and then put liquid edible for liberals or real edible in all caps as the fucking poll. Oh my God, you guys suck. Stop. I'm doing this. I'm doing this because I already opened it. And it's the same thing. And I'll chug some now. And then I'm going to sip on it. It still tastes like weed. Oh, no. They don't really cover it very well.
and that I had to finish each diet in the exact order that
Can
he
we
put
stop
them in,
showing?
which was probably
showing that fucking one image?
because he sprinkled in a few surprises that I didn't know about.
I hate you, Ricky.
But Ricky wasn't quite done yet.
I want to see you as thick and bloated as you were when you were a kid.
Yeah, that's when Ricky decided to throw in a little side mission for me on this crazy challenge. I was going to try and gain the most weight I've ever gained in a food challenge before. Ricky then told me that he had gotten a job in Central America, and he wanted to see me do this before he leaves. So right then and there, I knew what needed to be done.
This sounds pretty ridiculous, dude. But hey, what's the worst that can happen?
I love Eric the Electric. This was a pre-staged conversation. Yeah, man. You know, I'd love to get this challenge done before you fly to Central America, bro. I really, you know.
Next up on the
What?
list was the diet of Paul Mason. At his
Oh my God. Why are there just bags of Lay's
peak
chips?
weight, Paul weighed in at 980 pounds and had one of the most absurd diets ever recorded, which, judging by the first meal,
There's no way I'm gonna be able to do this.
was going to test me unlike any challenge I'd ever.
100 bags? Bro, that's not a meal somebody ate. 100 bags of chips? Why not just get like 5 family bags? Where we're getting the fucking snack packs?
Ever done before.
Safe to say after this, I've gotta say everyone, after this, I might have a serious chip on my shoulder. After today, I think I might have a serious chip on my shoulder.
Where are my salt and vinegar people at? Comment down below.
I had no idea how
I do love salt and vinegar chips. I like the kettle cooked. Chat, what's the best brand of chips? Kettle cooked. Or Doritos. If I'm going potato chip, I'm going kettle cooked. If I'm going like tortilla chip, depends. Depends on the vibe. Utz. Yeah, you're from Idaho. Get that kid out of here. I'm sorry.
day was off to a pretty bad start already.
Yeah, my lips are already numb.
And some trash spilling on the floor was about to be the least of my problems.
The outside of my mouth is completely numb right now.
As you can probably tell by now, I was clearly in a
Would this sodium not potentially just give you a heart attack? Like, is that absurd to say? Even if you're a healthy person, I feel like this is like a level of sodium that could actually just send you to the hospital.
State of pure potato chip bliss. There was 4 different flavors spread across the 100 bags of chips.
Why is he doing them? Okay, I don't like his strategy here. Would you be doing all of the salt and vinegar, then all of the classic, then all the barbecue? I feel like I'd be like rotating bags, you know? He's doing all of the one flavor and then the next. Like, I would be switching it up.
Strategy was to conquer 25 at a time.
I'm never eating another salt and vinegar chip ever again.
But I was starting to realize that this plan wasn't working out very well.
All right, let me get a bag count here because I've lost count like 300 bags ago. 24, 25.
With the salt and vinegar flavor down, it was
25? Bro. I feel like I'd fucking pour him into a blender with water and make it a fucking potato smoothie. Oh, I wouldn't be able to do this. I don't think, like, this isn't even the amount of food. It's just, dude, just so many. It's just the same food over and over again.
I knew there was no way I was going to finish all 100 bags in one sitting. But if I can make it through 25 more, then I knew I'd have a solid chance at surviving this crazy diet plan.
The amount of cuts in your mouth, bro, yeah. Like, you know when you have warheads and it like the fucking malic acid actually starts like giving you like rug burn on the top of your mouth? He's gonna anytime he drinks, if he has more soda, it's gonna be a fucking flashbang, dude. It's gonna be a jump scare every time he eats anything.
Well, I got this text from Ricky.
Remotely sour.
The next part of Paul's diet was going to require
Next part of Paul's diet, 5 lemons.
trip to the grocery store. But in order to set myself up for success,
I've entered what scientists refer to as the crunch dimension.
I knew I had to finish off the rest of these barbecue chips, which fortunately I was able to do. But unfortunately, getting through this day wasn't going to be quite that easy.
I don't even have a word to describe how my mouth feels right now.
With the barbecue chips down, I headed to Walmart to grab the next thing I needed to eat, plus a little something extra.
Man, the roof of my mouth is so shredded right now. I need something. I have a feeling I'm going to need something a little heavier duty for the picture. If only this worked for the
Acetaminophen and Reese's ice cream.
emotional kind too.
Or Tillamook ice cream.
Yeah, this is going to taste like sadness.
After some much needed relief, I was clearly ready for more chips. I could feel each chip shredding the roof of my mouth. Had I not gotten that sweet treat, I don't think I'd have a roof left.
Status update. Feels like a car crashed inside of my mouth. And there's shards of glass everywhere.
After 10 more delightful minutes, I found myself at the last bag of sour cream and onion chips.
My blood type is now sour cream and onion.
If I could finish off the
Am I crazy? I feel like his mouth would start bleeding. Like really bad.
last 25 bags of chips, I'd be through with the first half of Paul's diet. As for the second half,
All right, well, everyone,
75 bags of chips.
I have the rest of the bags right there.
that was either going to save me or shatter me.
And the reason why I haven't gotten into Paul's next item is because it would have gone terrible with this and would have gone better with...
The second half of Paul's diet was 40 chocolate bars.
No, that's actually not that bad. I feel like I could munch that down. I think I'd feel like shit. I think I could steamroll through like 30 chocolate bars.
I knew this was going to be my last ditch effort to finish Paul Mason's daily diet.
I feel like I just burned way too many calories unwrapping those.
But after all the salt I just put in my body over the last day, these Feastables bars were everything I needed.
This chocolate is pretty good. I'd give it an 8 out of 10.
But even though they were a massive relief, I knew I had to get to the chips eventually.
We meet again. Oh, man.
Do you think that is reducing his lifespan? No, like I'm not even trying. I'm not trying to like make this sad or anything. Like professional eaters usually balance stuff. I feel like this is so unhealthy though. Like this has to, he's had to tick like a few days off his life.
At this point, the roof of my mouth and the corners of my lips were in shambles, and I was running out of options. So I thought I'd try some ice cold water, and it did absolutely nothing. And when I realized I was only able to eat one chip at a time, I started to think about throwing in the towel.
I genuinely don't know what to do right now.
But the last thing I wanted to be eating was leftover chips tomorrow. And I also had a sneaking suspicion that these diets were only going to get harder, which meant I was going to need all the stomach space possible. So I knew
Bro, put it in a blender. I'm putting it in a blender and water and drinking it.
to take all
Is
these
that
chips
not? Are you not allowed to do that?
down tonight. So a few minutes later, I got the bright idea to try a new approach. I've decided to call it chip balls.
This is day 1. No, this is day 2.
Well, actually, they're just crushed chips in my fist, but it made it so I could eat them much faster. And to my complete and utter surprise,
My taste buds feel like they're in another dimension right now.
it was working incredibly well. I just wished I would have done it 90 bags ago. Nothing against Lay's potato chips or
He hasn't said he's been full. Can we talk about that? This is a food challenge, and all of the complaints are my mouth hurts. I don't like the carbonation in this soda. He's never like, I've eaten 30 pounds of food. I feel bad.
anything, but after this, I'm probably never going to eat another bag ever again. I was able to make it to the last 2 bags of chips, but it came at a pretty big cost.
I can't believe I've made it here, but I have 2 bags left. And a chip on my shoulder. So close.
With 2 bags of chips and 20 chocolate bars left, I was almost at the finish line.
Oh, hey, he's got almonds in them. Good thing I'm getting my healthy fats in.
I shoved back the rest of the chocolate bars like I was trying to set another world record.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is what rock bottom tastes like. And it's lightly salted.
And terrible life choices.
I got a little bit of debris, but I'm calling that one done. Oh. I'm gonna need a nap and a warm bath. If only my stomach was as shredded as the roof of my mouth is right now.
Bro, it looks like he's gonna explode. You're telling me? Okay, look, he's also doing the fucking angle. Have you noticed? He's doing the angle. Nobody looks good from this angle, by the way. You could get the most in-shape person in the world. If you fucking take a photo of somebody like this, they're gonna look like they're pregnant. This is just so bad. I don't see how this is. He's on day 3.
I'd made it through Paul's mountain of chips and chocolate bars, but the next diet
Is
wasn't
that all he eats in a
just
day?
about
Is
calories.
chips and
There
chocolate?
was a deadline, and failing it came with consequences. The next person on the list was Samantha Mason, who appeared on season 9 of the show My 600-Pound Life. Samantha weighed in at 950 pounds at her peak weight, which required a lot of calories to maintain. But calories weren't the only thing I had to worry about, because little did I know, Ricky was about to take the difficulty of this challenge to a whole new level.
Yo.
Hey, yeah, so I found this person.
Hey, it's me, Ricky, from previously in the video. The guy that was moving to Central America but wanted you to finish the challenge first.
Online. So she ate more than 20,000 calories a day, but what she ate was really big.
So Ricky went on to say that he found a thread on Reddit that analyzed Samantha's 140-pound weight gain while she stayed in a hospital, which came out to be roughly
She gained 140 pounds in a hospital.
21,333 calories per day. He gave this information to ChatGPT and asked it to analyze all the meals she ate while on the show in order to get the most accurate diet possible, which by itself was going to be incredibly difficult to finish. But what he did next was going to make this
It's gonna be a shitload of DoorDash, bro. It's gonna be like all fucking. It's gonna be like just fast food. Wendy's, McDonald's, Denny's.
challenge a whole different game.
Yeah, once we're off FaceTime, I'll go ahead and text you the first thing.
Alright.
When Ricky's text came in a few minutes later, I wasn't all that worried.
At least it's not 100 bags of chips.
And then he texted me this.
This challenge has just got taken up a few notches. I have to finish everything on this meal plan today before midnight, or else Ricky's telling me he's gonna add another person's name to the binder. Well, you know what, Ricky? If you're watching this, which I know you are, I am going to finish this meal plan. I just hope Samantha didn't.
I don't want to say I want to see how big his shits are, but like I would like to know how much percentage-wise of the bowl he's filling after this. Okay, you know, I'm just saying you're not curious. You're not like, dude, you just ate 40,000 calories. What's it like going out? You know, are you like fight? Like, you ever have one of those shits where you gotta, like, basically, like, strip naked? You're, like, fucking hugging the walls. You're, like, sweating. And that's probably, like, every poop he has is, like, a battle. Like, he's going, when he has to take a shit, he's like, oh, no. It's bad news.
The first stop was McDonald's. Second stop, Jack in the Box.
I hate you, Ricky.
The first
2
order of
full
business
bags, 6 jumbo breakfast burritos.
from this massive pile of fast food was 6 jumbo breakfast burritos. And since I hadn't drank enough of this so far, a large Coke. The first bite of the breakfast burrito was surprisingly really good. Maybe today wouldn't be so bad after all.
I'm just so glad it's just not a potato chip.
Burrito number
Ham, though.
2 went down easy, but the next one called for a little something extra, so I added some salsa. I was probably playing with fire by doing that, but hey, I like to live dangerously.
Shout out to Jack in the Box. Breakfast burritos are actually really good. think I just got a piece of foil in my mouth.
Maybe it was the sugar or the caffeine. Well, actually, probably both. But I was feeling good. Like, really good.
Wow, why is that so good? We're back in business, baby. Woo!
Obviously, the sugar rush was coming in at full force. But with time ticking away, I knew I was going to hit my wall eventually. So I decided to throw something else in that would give me a little bit more motivation to keep eating.
I'm going to issue a little challenge within the challenge. If I'm able to finish everything on this diet plan by midnight tonight, then you got to subscribe if you're not subscribed already. But if I can't, then you can unsubscribe. Even though that would make me very sad.
With the stakes high and the challenge set, I moved on to the crispy McNuggets. That had some sort of weird...
Do you think there's ever anybody that sees that and they're like, you better finish before, Eric. I'm going to unsubscribe.
sauce. But I was able to finish off the box. Unfortunately, the crispiness of these nuggets brought back
Yeah, me.
some pretty bad flashbacks.
All right, these McNuggets are a little too crispy.
Even though the roof of my mouth wasn't too happy, I continued on anyways. And I'm glad I did,
Just take a moment of silence for the cookie.
because the sweetness of this cookie was everything I needed.
Dun, dun, dun.
And after housing all
Keep saying the sweetness of this cookie is everything I needed. All he's been eating is sweets and salts.
meal one was officially complete.
Our cookies are down. I don't know what I'm going to do next. Realistically, I probably should be going to some sort of therapy.
Time to go shopping. That's pretty much me right now.
I thought eating 100 bags of chips would be the most
Got the bad shopping cart. Bad news.
physically and emotionally damaging thing I'd ever subject myself to. Until I saw
Eric the Electric should do a video where he has to just eat an entire aisle of a grocery store. Like, I feel like that's where these ideas are going to. He's just like, all right, what aisle? He has to pick an aisle. Okay, chat, you have to eat a whole aisle of a grocery store. What aisle are you picking? I'm probably going to pick, like, cereal. Cereal's probably, like, the easiest. Or condiments. Condiments would be the most disgusting. I feel like you would actually get it down the quickest. Fruits, that's not an aisle. That's the produce section. You could pick like, oh, dude, canned vegetables would be a bad aisle. Because you'd hit that wall of just cranberry sauce. it would just be like 100 cans of cranberry sauce. And then like lima beans. And you'd just be fighting for your life. Yeah, beverage aisle. Yeah, but that'd be so much liquid. The makeup aisle, you're just eating the lipstick. The fucking minimum wage Walmart worker not getting paid enough goes, what are you doing? Oh, it's for a YouTube video idea. I saw Eric the Electric do it.
As someone that's eaten a wide variety of food over my lifetime, there's not a lot of things out there I won't eat. Unless it's this.
Oh, dude, I love carrot cake.
Yeah, when I got carrot cake on my second birthday, I wasn't too jazzed about it. But I'm assuming that when Ricky saw that Samantha ate one of these on the show, he thought it would be the perfect opportunity to try to sabotage me. But my goal was to stay the world's hungriest man, and I was not going to let him win. So after getting my groceries, it was off to Starbucks for the next item. But after I got it, I caught the carrot cake taunting me in the passenger seat, forcing me to fight back intense feelings of nausea.
All right, that one looks a little low quality, but like, you ever have a good carrot cake?
It was not going to be easy.
I have nothing to say. Okay,
Another
not as good as the frappe
Frappuccino.
earlier, but that is tasty.
After a bit of the frappe, it was time for some Ben & Jerry's.
First actual item.
The first bite of this flavor was a good one. Mainly because it was 90% caramel and like 10% ice cream.
Oh, caramel. Goodness.
That alone's already like 2,000 calories. Ben & Jerry's ice cream is so unhealthy.
Probably should have asked them for a napkin.
Finally, it was time to move on to the next items.
Should probably get started on these chocolate bars right here.
Cookies and cream bars are classics, but in my opinion, nothing beats a Reese's chocolate bar.
No, nothing beats a Reese's Fast Break.
Unfortunately, the only thing left at this point was my mortal enemy.
Nothing about this is going to be fun.
If I could barely stand to smell this carrot cake, I had no idea how I was going to be able to eat it. I figured maybe if I just...
How many carrots do you think are in a carrot cake? Probably not many, because you don't really taste the carrots. The amount of carrots in a carrot cake depends on the recipe, averagely 5 to 8 medium carrots. That's like nothing in an entire cake.
Start with the frosting, the whole thing would be a lot easier to stomach. But when I took the first actual bite of cake, I realized I was...
So like 6 or 7. I feel like I'm becoming fucking Mr. Krabs from SpongeBob, where it's like every day he's like, day 53, and it's the same fucking shit joke over and over again. Chat, it's not funny. It's not funny. Can we please give it up? Oh, I wonder how many slices on that cake are. Maybe 6 or 7.
Carrot cake is just a vegetable bread pretending to be dessert, and no one can convince me otherwise.
Okay,
I continued-
no, it's not vegetable bread pretending to be. That's like cornbread is something that's pretending to be healthy.
As down as I could, but with each bite of carrot cake, the task seemed more and more impossible.
Dude, how could anybody eat this, like, willingly?
Why are you scraping off the top?
Everyone I intend.
What are you doing? Oh my god. Why are you eating it like that?
Anymore. This is a travesty. I don't know how I'm gonna be able to do this.
Fortunately, Ricky texted me again with the next meal, so I went shopping to distract myself. But even as I looked at these tasty donuts, I just couldn't shake the carrot taste in my mouth. The way I saw it, there was only one thing left to do.
Oh, could have been anything else besides carrot cake. Anything else. Why am I back here? Can I get one caramel
Didn't we just see you and you got 6 burritos and a frappuccino?
frappe, please?
Gotcha. Anything else today?
That's gonna be it.
How much would you need to order from a fast food worker for them to question you? It would be absurd amounts. They get so many orders from so many people and like a lot of fucking unhealthy shit. I feel like you would have to go, if you showed up to like the same fast food place like 5 times and ordered, you know, meals worth of shit, then they'd question you. Why are you asking me like I have experience? Why are you getting defensive?
All right, now I know what you're all thinking. Eric, this is normally the point where you get out your blender and you change the consistency of whatever it is you're eating so that it makes it drinkable. I got a lot of comments in the last video where I turned Stan, the 25-pound gummy bear, into a liquid bowl of whatever that was, and a lot of people said it was cheating, so I'm not gonna do that.
I don't think that's cheating. I think if you get the food down, you get the food down.
But I do think I have to do something, because there's no way I'm gonna be eating this carrot cake as it is. This is the moment I got a crazy idea that I just hoped would work. I was hoping that if I froze the carrot cake, then maybe it would become like a popsicle, and I wouldn't taste it as much when I tried to eat it later.
What?
Now I just gotta eat the other stuff.
What? I'm gonna freeze the cake so it's easier. Wouldn't that make it? You would have to chew it more.
With midnight fast approaching, I moved on to the donuts.
It does taste like sugar at this point.
As I was starting to get fuller and fuller,
Hot Pocket time.
I knew I had to keep eating.
I really don't feel like that. I feel like the person that ate this that he's like emulating wouldn't enjoy it at this point. Even if you are a food addict and you're, you know, morbidly obese and you eat a lot of food, at some point, wouldn't you be like, this just tastes like gray matter? Like, this isn't even...
Cold.
I'm not even eating food.
As I ate my uncooked Hot Pockets, I continued to spiral downward.
Oh man, it's bringing back flashbacks. I'll pick that up later.
The crunchiness was hard at first.
Ow.
And it only continued to get worse. But since it wasn't 100 bags of chips,
If I have to eat another chip in this challenge, I swear I'm gonna.
I was able to finish them off and move on to the next item, which fortunately was soft.
I saved the best for last. You're probably thinking to yourselves, Eric, what are you talking about? Why would that be the best? It's because these nuggets are going to be eaten with some wow sauce.
Dude, wow sauce looks like fucking fish poop. What is wow sauce?
At this point, I was outrageously full, but all that remained after these nuggets was
Is that like a mayo?
one last item, which if I couldn't finish, then another person's diet would get added to the binder.
The only thing left is that travesty of a carrot cake, and I have no idea if my plan is gonna work.
Bro, you know he's still sitting on that cake. I feel like this is the easiest part for him.
Whether when it's as frozen as it's gonna get. Oh, dude, it's not even frozen at all. Thinking it was gonna be like a popsicle, all right?
Each bite of this carrot cake was insufferable.
Oh. Gotta say, everybody, people have things they really don't like, and they have things they really do like. This is not one of the things.
Yeah, but I feel like, bro, it'd be easier for you to be like, yeah, I don't really want to eat raw carrots. That'd be terrible. If he got like 100 raw carrots that he just had to mac down. But something like sweets or pastries, I feel like even if you don't like them, your brain just registers the sweetness and just moves forward.
Things I really like. It's only one way it's going down.
I held out for as long as I could, but I knew this wasn't going to go down without a little bit of help. I got some good old peanut butter to mask the taste. And guess what? It still tasted
He's giving himself more calories for the sake of trying to make it more edible for him.
awful. But it was helping
No way.
just enough to make progress. And with only a few minutes left in the day, I just had one last thing to say.
Ricky, I hate you. I never ever want to relive that experience ever again. Alright, so here's the deal. I ordered the shirt just in case I was able to finish everything on the diet plan today. Just got the wrong size. It's a little snug.
After conquering Samantha's diet, I was over halfway done with the challenge. Unfortunately for me though, my stomach was destroyed.
Alright everybody, well, it's day 4. I'm officially halfway through this challenge. I'm ashamed to admit that I had nightmares last night about carrot cake. Imagine being a grown man and having nightmares about carrot cake.
With how horrible
Okay, the one thing I want to say is, like, if he cheated this video and did one of these challenges a week, I wouldn't even be mad. I don't care if he says they're day to day, you know? I don't know if they are, but, like, that wouldn't bother me.
day 3 went, I was pretty afraid to open the binder. And with all the calories, sugar, and fat I had just put into my body, I felt like I was starting to go crazy. Even though my goal was to gain weight for this challenge, I was massively bloated. So I called in some backup.
Slim tea. From a fucking Temu.
I did a little bit of reading to revitalize my mind and shift my focus away from all the food I had just eaten. After that, I had a nice walk with my dog Apollo, and then it was time to check and see what my progress was on my side mission this week. But what I was about to discover was completely unexpected.
All right, everybody, it's past the halfway point. So now what I'm gonna do is weigh myself to see how much I've gained.
As I was about to weigh in, something in the corner caught my eye. At first,
You think he's weighing in pre or post poop?
I didn't think much of it when Ricky presented me with the binder, but him choosing to include this specific photo of us had a much deeper meaning than I originally thought. You may not know this about me, but I've had my fair share of weight struggles throughout my life. A few weeks after this photo was taken, I found myself at the doctor's office for what I thought would be a routine checkup, but what actually happened would dramatically change the rest of my teenage years. I stepped on the scale and saw 215 pounds staring back at me, and at first, it was just a number. But when my doctor told me that my weight put me in the obese category for kids my age, it hit me harder than any insult any bully had ever thrown at me. For my entire life up until that point, I just wanted to be seen as someone other than the overweight kid. So with that 215-pound number etched in my mind, I walked out of that doctor's office that day with a mission to lose as much weight as possible. And roughly
Wow, when he started doing the progress photos.
11 months later, I had lost about 90 pounds. But even after the weight loss, that number never really left me. It became more than a number. Like subconsciously, I would think if I ever found myself back at that number, I would be that overweight kid again. But now in this very moment, as I saw myself creeping back towards that number, I was starting to wonder, what if after all this time, it was just a number after all? But this moment of reflection didn't last very long.
Okay, but now he's like mainly muscle, and it's also like 25 pounds of that food. Like whatever he gains, he'll probably lose it fairly quickly. Because he's just going to revert back to what he was normally doing. He's not going to keep gaining weight. He'll just immediately start losing it.
Because not only was the next diet the biggest so far, failing it meant losing the entire challenge.
Alrighty guys, it is day 5. I'm actually feeling pretty rejuvenated today. So it's time to get back to the challenge and see who's next.
I didn't know it yet, but what was going to appear on the page after this one was going to turn the next 24 hours of my life into total chaos.
What is in my stomach right now? Today's a beast. Finish or pay, because if food's left by the end of the day, 2 more names are on their way.
With 2 more names potentially getting added to the binder if I couldn't finish the next meal plan, Ricky was clearly pushing me to my limits. Especially because the next person up on the list was Kenneth Brumley. Kenneth was featured in the documentary Half Ton Dad. At his peak weight, Kenneth weighed in at an estimated 1,035 pounds. Ricky's challenge was quite the surprise, but he was about
How do your bones not collapse under that weight? Like, I don't understand how you don't break your bones sitting on that. Like, yeah, they might get stronger with the weight added, but even just like sitting still, dude, you're the same skeletal system as them, but they have 1,000 pounds on their body.
to hit me with another.
Like you could suffocate yourself just by your sheer weight.
So I had trouble finding Kenneth's exact diets. All I was able to find were the typical meals he ate while he was on Half Ton Dad, and the total amount of calories he ate per day, which unfortunately for you is going to be the highest out of anyone else's diet so far. Good luck.
Bro, it's always like
With a-
McDonald's.
little over 12 hours on the clock and a semi-recovered stomach, I knew I had to finish this diet because I knew if Ricky added 2 more names to the binder, I'd definitely be failing this challenge.
Thank goodness this meal has orange juice. I gotta get my fruit in somehow.
non-pulp McDonald's orange juice. That shit might be Sunny D.
At this point, the taste of the food wasn't as big of a concern, so I combined my favorites together to make a mega breakfast sandwich. But as soon as I got to the legendary McDonald's hash brown, I knew exactly what had to happen next. I dedicate this next part of the video to all the OGs on the channel because there is an item I used to make all the time in my videos, and all I gotta say is that if you try it, your taste buds will be blown away. Step 1, get your pancake and hash brown like so. Step 2, add a little bit of bacon, just like so, my friends and family. And then step 3, skip the McMuffin, we don't need the extra carbs. Step 4, garnish your hash brown and bacon just like so. And the final step in the process, everybody, is to garnish your creation just like so, my friends and family. And then you have yourselves what I like to call the electrifier. Woo! Who else thinks I should be designing McDonald's menu items? McDonald's, if you're watching this video,
I feel like I've eaten that at isn't that really just what a McGriddle is?
Finished off the rest of the breakfast items before diving into the dessert, which was 2 massive cinnamon rolls and a little bit of syrup. Meal 1 was pretty easy, but since Ricky
Who the fuck would put syrup on a cinnamon roll?
was the one sending me the meals, I had no idea what to expect for the rest of the day.
That was pretty spectacular.
Okay, so Ricky just texted
Mid-morning snack, and it's 4 lines.
me meal 2 and meal 3. Meal 3 is gonna be at a fast food place, and it's a fast food place I really love. So I'm gonna go grocery shopping.
At the store, I grabbed the next few items I needed, including something I really did not want to see.
I also haven't thought about how much money this costs him to make these videos just off the amount of food he has to fucking purchase.
This is gonna be going into my what usually is my protein shaker cup, which I find kind of hilarious and slightly ironic.
As usual, I started on the thing I was least excited to eat. And in this case, it was the Doritos. My mouth quickly paid the price.
You guys gotta comment down below. Are you team nacho cheese or are you team Cool Ranch?
Cool Ranch, but neither. Purple Doritos for fucking life. I will live and die by a purple Dorito. Or actually, on the come up, barbecue Doritos, slept on flavor. I really need to do a Dorito fucking review. I love most Dorito flavors.
I powered through the rest of the chips using my shaker cup as I went. This Coke was the last thing I needed. And even though the roof of my mouth was back to being in shambles, the Doritos were done.
I'll pick that up later.
Next, it was onto the Snickers bars, which I made quick work of. If this all wasn't enough sugar already, what I had next was going to be the icing on the cake.
Pop-Tarts. That is a pure
Oh
exemplification.
no. Oh my god. After I did that stupid ass Pop-Tart review, oh, that was like the worst video I've ever made. After I did that fucking stupid ass Pop-Tart review, every time I pass them now, oh my god, bro, I get like almost nauseous. They're so gross. They're so gross. It made me realize how like even the outside of like the top 3 or 4 Pop-Tart flavors, they might be like a 6 out of 10 on taste. And I rated a lot of them fairly high because they're just sweet. But if you eat more than one of them, they're like, even the s'mores ones. The s'mores ones I gave 10 out of 10 because they taste good. If I eat more than 2 s'mores flavor Pop-Tarts, they would immediately shoot down to like a 3 out of 10. They start tasting worse and worse. It's like doing the chicken nugget challenge. 60 in, you're like, these taste like fucking slop.
Of American junk food. I don't even know if exemplification is even a word, but I just had to say it.
As I worked my way through these Pop-Tarts, the extreme amount of caffeine and
8 full Pop-Tarts.
sugar was starting to do crazy things to my body. As I shoved the second to last Pop-Tart back into my mouth and sipped the remaining Coke, what happened next, I still can't fully understand.
Woo! Oh my goodness. I don't know what about that meal was incredible, but your boy is officially locked in. I'm introducing a new segment to the videos, everyone. When I get officially dialed in, my pancreas has been seasoned, my organs, my stomach, everything inside of my body is saying, Eric, please, for the love of God, stop eating. That is when I get locked in. Side note, I really have always wanted to get a Burger King crown, so I was really excited when...
You do not want a Burger King crown. The Burger King crown has been tainted ever since that fateful day.
First bite of Burger King was delicious, but with this much in front of me,
I need to make some adjustments to my setup I got going on here because it's just not working.
I had a feeling things were going to go downhill fast. After applying an unnecessary amount of ranch to this burger, I finished it off and made my way to the nuggets next. My sauce of choice was the legendary sweet and sour. It was good, but flavor fatigue was starting to hit. And when that happens, it's never a good thing.
What you guys gotta do when you're in moments like this where flavor fatigue is hitting, you gotta go bam, and then boom, and then back to bam.
Sweet and sour and ranch, obviously a goated combo. After spending the next few minutes eating those, it was finally time for the fries.
Exercise. I thought you meant extra fries.
Do you think those products that are like those mom joke extra fries or extra thighs? I thought you said extra fries or whatever the fuck. Extra size, that stupid shit, those minion jokes. Do you think any of those actually make money? I think any Amazon product that's like just some stupid dad joke or like a minion joke that's like related to Despicable Me in any sort, I think maybe they get like 5 sales. They're made on order, on demand. They don't have back roll of these. They're not pre-making these. They just get, they commission them and they probably make like fucking $5 per one. We Drinks hitting it is. I'm stuttering.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is a work of art. The legendary Hershey's pie from Burger King.
The Burger King meal was finished, and with that much food in me, the only thing I could think of doing next was...
afternoon snack and dinner.
Okay. Time to go grocery shopping.
Right about now is when I started feeling all those calories catch up with me. Even these smaller items...
Never had a zebra cake? They're fucking fire frozen. If you ever buy any like Hostess flavored things like Twinkies or zebra cakes... when you freeze them and then just eat them straight out of the freezer is when they're the best.
I finished off the M&Ms, but the next item for sure wasn't going to be good for my digestive system.
An entire cheesecake.
Peanut M&Ms.
I feel like this would be comical at this point, dude. I feel like his vibes have gotten better because now this is just his life. Day 5 in. Yeah, I gotta eat an entire cheesecake right now.
I like to live dangerously, everybody. We have a cheesecake right here.
I gotta say, I was
that's a small cheesecake.
pretty surprised when I took my first bite of this cheesecake.
That's not bad for a Walmart cheesecake.
But things quickly took a turn for the worse.
Oh, man.
Each bite of cheesecake felt like a literal brick was going into my stomach. But with midnight fast approaching and more food after this, I was almost at the finish line. I just had to keep pushing.
Cheesecake is down. I wish I could say that today is over, but unfortunately it is not.
Bro, his body has to hate him so much. I always think about whether or not some of my organs are ever like not even conscious, but you know they send signals back to you. Like his whole body's like, fuck you, dude.
Besides, what harm could yet another food item that scratches the roof of my mouth do? Yeah, it turns out the bacon on this pizza was a little bit too crispy. At this point, I wasn't sure if my mouth would ever fully recover from this challenge.
I love that crust though. Maybe a little more burnt. That's not really, actually that looks stuffed. What's the best style of pizza, chat? A thin fucking New York style slice, like a Brooklyn pizza slice with like some borderline burnt bread.
The bacon is crunchy and the roof of my mouth is still raw.
Shortly after this, I realized I'd forgotten to bring an item to the table.
Get the frozen burritos out of the microwave.
This is the last thing my body
Ew,
needs
was that
right
wet?
now. It was a bean and cheese burrito. I'm just telling you all right now. After happily eating the first burrito, and eventually the second, it was time for a little taste test.
Time for an official Pizza Hut Ranch taste test. Oh, no.
At this point, I knew the only way I was going to be able to finish these breadsticks was with my own sauce.
I gotta say right now.
Oh, it's his sauce. I kept thinking, why is he bringing up the wow sauce? I'm like, this guy must love, like, imagine he was doing it with ketchup. I'd be like, this guy fucking loves ketchup. He just keeps bringing up the fucking wow sauce.
Oh my goodness. It could not get any worse than this.
Actually, it could, and it was going to.
Oh, my stomach isn't there
Oh my
anymore.
God, is he going to throw up? I see now that would be entertainment too. As bad as it is to say.
But I was able to finish the other half of this pizza. Unfortunately, though, I wasn't quite done yet.
I'm so full right now.
Because only a few minutes after I finished this meal, Ricky texted me Kenneth's midnight snack. With time slowly ticking away, I headed back to Walmart for what felt like the 100th time.
I feel like my stomach is gonna file a restraining order against me if I keep eating like this.
But after grabbing my items, I realized that my fullness wasn't going to be the only issue here.
Oh my God, is it going to be like a whole loaf of peanut butter and jellies?
Just my luck.
He just starts eating in the line. He fucking cracks open the peanut butter jar before he even buys it, just starts fucking making the sandwiches there.
But this final meal was going to come down to the wire. After giving my stomach as much rest as possible, it was finally go time.
I'm so full right now.
With 10 minutes left, I got into the Ben & Jerry's, which is where I faced my first enemy.
Great freeze.
A few more spoonfuls later, I was already halfway through the pint. And then finally, I was able to finish it off.
The Ben & Jerry's is down.
With a little over 6 minutes left, I had 2 PB&J sandwiches to finish.
I hate you, Ricky. So much.
This point was move around to try and help digest some of the food.
My body's saying yes, but my mind is saying no.
With less than 2 minutes left and only a quarter of the sandwich remaining,
A little over a minute left.
I knew this was going to be close. I stuffed the second to last bite into my mouth and checked the clock once again.
Woo! Mouth is clean. I'm gonna need to lay down for a little bit.
I felt confident I was going to end this challenge with a W. Little did I know, I was going to need every second I could get.
Oh, we've made it to day 6. Since Ricky said there's 5 diets, that means I have 1 more to go. Oh, I'm gonna go find out who's up next, unfortunately. The next name in the binder, Donna Simpson. Someone who actually set out to become the world's heaviest woman. Donna's meal plan was so outrageous that it not only made national headlines, it made all the meal plans I'd eaten this week look like appetizers. And unfortunately for me,
5 pounds of mashed potatoes. Yep, it's over. What does that even look like? He has to make 3 full boxes of mashed potatoes.
Dude, that's gonna make me ton of potatoes.
Really?
Hey, at least this is like the softest meal of the week.
Not only were the potatoes super soft,
But so bland, dude.
they were the
This would be worse than anything.
perfect food to start the day off with.
Actually, I don't know. Would you rather eat like this 5-pound bowl of like unseasoned mashed potatoes or just 7 fucking bean burritos jumbo from Taco Bell? Like, say they're the equivalent amount of food. I think it would be more enjoyable at the start to eat the good tasting thing, but after a bit, it might actually be better to just eat the same bland food because it's not going to taste worse. Is it missing the wow sauce?
I needed something to bump up the flavor.
Where's the wow sauce?
So I decorated them with some fat-free cheese.
This feels like the first challenge of the week that the roof of my mouth actually approves of.
But even though this meal felt like a win, the victory was short-lived because of what showed up on my lock screen next.
5 loaves of bread. I'm throwing in the towel. I'm throwing in the towel at minute 4 of the fucking video. What do you mean? I'm halfway through eating 5 pounds of mashed potatoes. You go, yeah, Eric, sorry. You got to eat fucking 5 loaves of bread.
Looks like I gotta go shopping again.
I headed back to the store to buy some bread. 5 loaves was a lot, but it was still pretty manageable. Little did I know, this was only the beginning.
You know, a lot of people have watched these videos I make for many years now, and they always ask me, Eric, do you ever think you'll give up carbs? And I always say the same thing, over my big body.
After my incredibly hilarious joke, I got back to work on the mashed potatoes.
I'll never look at mashed potatoes.
Those do look like good bread loaves, though. I thought he was going to get like Wonder Bread.
It was the same after this.
I was able to finish them off,
All the mashed potatoes are done.
but I still had bread left to eat.
Mo butter, mo better.
After eating the bread and butter like a civilized human being, I decided to take a little bit of the outside out and make my own butter pocket. From the way I saw it, I was so
Bro, he's eating a whole stick of butter, too.
close to finishing this challenge.
Got 3 loaves remaining.
But I was in for quite the surprise.
No more butter. Well, at least not that kind of butter.
I searched the pantry for something
Freak out the wow sauce, Eric! Freak out the wow!
to help me take down the rest of this bread.
Bring it out! Oh.
My mouth is so annihilated.
Even the top of the sourdough bread was bothering my mouth. Little did I know,
Just soak it in that gallon of wow sauce.
that was about to become the least of my worries.
Oh man, this bread is filling me up.
I hoped that making some classic PB&Js was going to get me to the finish line, but I was starting to hit the wall, which meant I had to think of something fast.
I dedicate this entire meal to all the gluten-free people watching, because I wish I were you right now.
I don't like to do it because honestly it's pretty disgusting, but dunking bread in water softens it up and makes it way easier to eat.
Final loaf.
I don't think it's disgusting. I've dunked like a hot dog bun in water.
A few minutes later, I finally conquered the bread boss and made it to the end.
It just
Or so I
collapses
thought.
really easily. Oh,
They didn't say it had to be pretty. It just had to be done. I always come out on top. Always.
an entire turkey.
You've got to be kidding me.
And 5 pounds of stuffing. Bro, he's just going to give up.
At this point, I could barely think straight anymore, but it was off to the grocery store once again. I had absolutely no idea, but sheer ridiculousness was about to unfold in front of me.
It's just going to be a Thanksgiving dinner.
I said the word dude in the span of 15 minutes more times than I'd ever said in my entire life. Not only was this an expensive grocery trip, but I now had an entire feast to prepare. So I got to work and spent the next few hours cooking. I decided that since I had one more day left to complete the challenge, I'd be going all in tomorrow. But before I did, there was one big question on my mind.
Honestly, I feel like I'm full enough to be at the weight goal, so it's time to see if I'm actually at the weight goal.
213. I hadn't seen that number in years. And
He's gained 28 pounds.
I had a feeling it wasn't just my stomach that was going to be tested.
I feel like I just cooked enough food to feed an entire football team.
Out of thousands of food challenges, this was the biggest meal I'd ever been in
What, 3 whole chickens or those mini turkeys?
front of. Looking over the massive spread of food across the table, I decided to tackle the thing I disliked the most. The stuffing. I made quick work of the stuffing and started diving into the ham. But only a few short minutes later, I fell back into a food coma once again.
My stomach isn't there anymore. It's just pain.
After a break, I was back at it a few hours later. The entire challenge had come to this.
A few hours later, so it's just sitting out. So he just goes and takes a nap, comes back, it's fucking cold, and he's like, yeah, let me break off a fucking turkey leg.
I was determined to finish this meal by any means necessary. But each bite was becoming harder and harder to eat. As I continued on, one big question started to form in my mind.
Oh, this is miserable.
How could anyone eat this much food in a day?
Ugh.
So when I came back to the table an hour later, I found out the answer to that question for myself. And to say I was shocked would be an understatement.
Simpson high-calorie diet.
When I first saw the title of the article, I was pretty skeptical.
30,000 calorie Christmas feast.
And then I saw this.
In 1-2 hour sitting. That's just, I don't think you can competitively eat an entire 30,000 calorie Thanksgiving meal in 2 hours.
2 hours sitting? Yeah, and I'm the Queen of England.
Either Donna was the best professional eater in the world, or that article mistakenly put 2 hours instead of 2 months. Either way, I felt defeated. I'd made it to the final
So he just started munching down on a Thanksgiving meal for no reason.
boss in the craziest challenge I'd ever attempted. But ultimately, Ricky was right. This really was the challenge I couldn't finish. But in my eyes,
And he ate the worst thing first. He ate 5 pounds of stuffing and he said, I hate this.
there was just one last thing I had to do.
Weighing time, baby.
I started
He's probably gonna have gained like 35 pounds.
this week at 184 pounds, and as I stepped on the scale, I weighed in at 218 pounds.
Oh my God.
It's the heaviest I've been in my entire life. When I first started this challenge, I expected I'd feel those old thoughts of insecurity again if I came close to even hitting this number. But in this moment, I felt okay. And in a weird way, being over that 215 number didn't bring up those old feelings that I expected it to. What I gained this week wasn't just weight, it was perspective. And I wasn't the only one who changed. Donna ended up losing over 100 pounds and decided to prioritize being a mom. And Kenneth also lost over 100 pounds after appearing on Half Ton Dad. Samantha Mason lost over
Okay, bro, but like he needs to, for him to lose enough, okay, maybe on that, and then he needs to lose more. But that guy weighed 1,000 pounds.
over 320 pounds and continues to share aspects of
I'm not shitting on the progress, right? I think losing any amount of weight if you're overweight is great. But I'm saying like there's a level that you would need to lose to become like functional.
weight loss journey on social media. Paul, he lost over 650 pounds and had one of the most dramatic weight loss transformations ever recorded. And Barry Austin, the man once called Britain's heaviest, eventually lost over 300 pounds. They lost weight, but they found something greater: power over their own stories. And while I may not have finished the challenge, ultimately I gained something much more meaningful: peace with who I've become. And if 15-year-old me could—
Just a hungry guy, smiley face. Wow. Didn't take me long to realize the reason he uploads once every 3 to 6 months is because that's how long it takes for him to get back in shape. Nah, that's really? You think that's why he does that? I think he preps, and it's also just a lot of like that. That's a long video, man. Even if he did do that in 7 days. Next.